Translation sama writing kira-kira yang mana ini lebih susah? Iya ya. Because you guys need to know like the context, right? You cannot just translate what the passage means. Okay. I guess someone is in 7-Eleven. I can hear that. Like the bell, the ringing of 7-Eleven or Family Mart something. But it's okay. Enjoy while you are studying. Biar nggak terlalu stress dulu. Okay, so I guess how many? Oh, we already have 20 people here. So before we go on to our third module, what did we learn last week? Masih ada yang ingat nggak? Kira-kira yang minggu lalu itu apa? Yes. Yes. We okay. We talk about mostly we talk about the personal, and then personal letter, communal letter, and then the last one. What was the last one? We talk about three parts, right? About writing a letter. Wow. Personal notes, yes. Jadi yang minggu lalu itu kan kita berbicara tentang yang personal. Nah, ada pertanyaan nggak kira-kira tugasnya ada saya suruh itu kan buat personal note? Ada nggak? Atau yang lain? Belum ya? Personal letter. Okay. So far, do you guys have any question about personal letter or something? Atau ada yang grammar fokus yang minggu lalu kira-kira kurang mengerti? Tidak ada? Atau semuanya mengerti? Okay. Bisa yang kalian bikin itu kayak resipiennya, siapa namanya. Ada beberapa untuk menulis personal letter, kadang kita tulis nama kita lalu nama pengirimnya. Nama pengirim lalu nama penerimanya. Tapi biasanya itu kita kirim nama penerimanya sih. Nggak ada ketentuan kalau misalnya untuk menulisnya. Saya bakalan lebih lihat kalian cara tulisannya sih bagaimana gitu. Dan maksudnya itu sampai nggak begitu. Okay, sure. Okay, so last week we talked about something personal, and then today we are going to talk about something a bit formal because we are going to talk the business letter. Okay, before we go on to the next part or the next unit, what do you know about business letter? What you guys know about business letter? Have you ever? Sure. Continue. Yes, that's one of the keywords for business letter. Formal terus sopan begitu ya. Have you ever written one or have you ever got any business letter before? Or maybe yes. Was that to your boss or was that to your colleague atau bagaimana? Yes, we use the formal language, right? The polite language. That's true. Okay. business letter, that's what we talked just now. What do you know about it? And then the next one, what is business letter? How do we write a business letter? Like Mbak already mentioned, we use formal language, and then we use the formal letter or the business letter in the formal situation. And then the words and dictation are carefully chosen. Seperti yang tadi yang dibilang, yang memang benar-benar language-nya itu formal, dan hati-hati pemilihan katanya juga sangat dipilih-pilih gitu. And then why do we need to do that? Because we want to show the person we want to show respect to the person that we send the letter to. So that's how we want to write a business letter. And then let's see. In business letter, in this time, we will be talking about three types of business letter. For the first one is complaint letter. So what is this complaint letter? Complaint letter is written to deal with a problem situation when something has failed to rectify the situation. Pernah nulis complaint letter nggak kira-kira? Or have you ever complained something? Oh, you have never written any complaint letter. How about the others? Gimana yang lainnya? Are you guys with us? Gimana? Have you ever written any complaint letter? Complaint. Atau cuma pernah kayak komplain di sebuah restoran atau supermarket atau any. Tadi Mbak Ani bilang, yeah, I ever complain but then never written any complaint letter yet. How about the others? Okay, let's see. When you complain to your majikan, how did you say that? Did you say like in a formal way or informal way? Informal way. Okay, some of you ever complain and some of you like never complain, but let's see in the writing part. Okay, for example, the customer complains to the restaurant manager about the poor service. This is really often happen ya. This is sangat sering terjadi ketika kita mau makan, terus servisnya gimana sih ini, waitressnya gimana kok mereka nggak sopan sekali, atau mereka pikir kita nggak bisa bayar, seperti itu kan. And then maybe the second one, the person complains to the government about the water damage in a neighborhood. Mungkin kalau misalnya kita di Indo atau lagi di Taiwan atau di Hong Kong, beberapa orang bakalan komplain tentang sesuatu yang terjadi di lingkungan tersebut ke governmentnya. So when you want to complain to the government or to the restaurant manager, we often write a letter, but then it should be like a formal letter. Okay, and we have like steps to write a complaint letter. For example, number 1, know whom you are writing to, and then do a little research what kind of company you are writing to. So before we want to write a business letter, we should dig a little bit, like kira-kira ini company yang seperti apa ya yang mau saya komplain ini. So what they are selling, and then how do they have like experience, or do they have good review or bad review from others. Jadi kita bisa relate to that one. And then the second one, when we want to write, and then don't write the letter with anger or threat. Jadi ketika kita mau menulis complaint letter itu, kita usahakan kalau kita itu calm down, dan jangan menulis surat dengan ancaman gitu. Dan biasanya kita setelah situasi yang tidak menyenangkan itu, kita tunggu beberapa saat dulu. Jangan langsung right away to write it down. Otherwise you're gonna write it in anger. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Ibu. Okay, the next one, when we want to write, And then it says write the letter less than a week. Jangan menulis complaint letter itu misalnya 1 minggu kemudian atau 2 minggu kemudian, bahkan mungkin 1 tahun kemudian, yang mana kita juga udah lupa apa yang sebenarnya yang terjadi gitu loh. Dan juga kalau misalnya kita menulisnya itu dan yang kita addressing itu juga bakalan bingung kan, what is this right letter for gitu. It already happened like a year ago, so why don't you just write like when the time happening, right? And then the next one, we need to type, don't write. Kenapa? Karena ketika kita typing atau writing a letter by email, sending them by email, it shows our professionalism. Jadi itu lebih terlihat formal dan profesional. That you are talking in a formal way, begitu. And then the next one, know who your target is. Jadi ketika kita mau menulis complaint letter, biasakan kita itu tadi kan udah dibilang do a little research. Kira-kira siapa yang mau kita address itu? Jangan kayak yang too general, to whom it may concern. It's too general for something that you are complaining about. Jadi for example, if you know the name dear Mr. blah blah blah, atau dear kepala bagian ini, atau untuk manager ini gitu. But then don't be so personal, and then you don't need to write my dear Mr. like this one, or dearest Mr. blah blah blah. So we just write dear Mr. George, for example, the manager of this restaurant. So that's how we want to know our target is. And then the next one, be direct. Jadi biasakan kita itu kalau misalnya menulis business letter itu kita nggak usah bertele-tele gitu. Mereka, they don't want to know about our personal life story. So just like to the point and then tell what you want to tell. Alright? And then the next one, the next part is drive home your facts. For example, if you want to complain, tell the dates, what time was it, and then what's the name of the people involved in your situation. For example, pada waktu ini kejadiannya tanggal segini, orang yang involved in this situation adalah si ini, begitu. Jadi so we know what we are complaining about, and then we know what we want them to know for our situation, from our situation. And then the next one, don't embellish. Jangan kita buat itu, jangan melebih-lebihkan situasi. For example, in a restaurant, you just wait for 30 minutes, but then you say like, oh yeah, I was waiting for 1.5 hours, but then my food not coming yet. So I'm so mad at the customer or the restaurant, something like that one. So we don't need to exaggerate the situation. And then the next one, explain what you want to accomplish, but don't be unrealistic. Biasanya untuk yang complaint letter, biasanya ada 4 request. But here, yang pertama itu requestnya itu refund. And then if you want to get any refund, usually you're gonna say like, I feel that I should receive my money back as compensation for the terrible experience in your restaurant, in blah blah blah, something like that one. And then the second request that we can have when we want to complain is things made right. For example, since my cheeseburger was not in my bag when I left the drive-thru, I would like a coupon for the next visit. Right? Atau jadi seperti ini untuk menulis request. Jangan bilangnya, oh ya kemarin kan gak ada cheeseburger waktu aku left drive-thru, jadi aku nextnya itu aku mau cheeseburger, coupon free for cheeseburger for 10 years. So we shouldn't say that, right? Don't be unrealistic. And then the third one, management intervention with employee. Biasanya ini yang sangat common untuk service di restoran, di hotel, or di mana aja. I feel the management should talk to their employees about blah 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 blah. Biasanya customer yang tidak yang dapat situasi yang kurang menyenangkan pada saat belanja, pada saat makan, atau just like layanan jasa or something. And then the fourth one, we usually like they don't get any they don't have requests, but then they just want to address the situation. So let the company think about that one. Okay, and then the next one, let them know what you plan if the issue is not addressed. Nah, tadi kan udah kita bilang di yang pertama itu jangan ada anger atau threat. Tapi di sini yang untuk beritahu mereka jika mereka itu tidak bisa mengatasi situasi yang kita address. Contohnya, mungkin kita bakalan bilang ke customer yang lain. Karena word of mouth, ya yang dari mulut ke mulut, publication is really fast when it comes to restaurant, food, clothing line, service, or anything. So that may be going to attack the company or the company that you are addressing to. So let them know what you plan about when the issue is not addressed. And then the next one, give your contact information. So when we want to write a complaint letter, give your contact information so they can contact you back, or maybe they're gonna say like, thank you for giving us feedback, and then we would like to give you refund, atau we would like to talk to our employees about the issue that being addressed, begitu. And then the last one, thank the person reading your letter. Jadi walaupun kita komplain, but we need to always thank the person that you are writing to. This one is to show the letter ends on positive note. Jadi ketika kita berterima kasih, itu sangat common sih di Indonesia, kita bakal bilang thank you, terima kasih atas waktunya, terima kasih atas apa ya biasanya ya? Terima kasih atas apa biasanya di kalau kita mau menulis letter di bahasa Indonesia? Pernah nggak? Masih ingat nggak? Did you still remember how you write a letter in bahasa Indonesia? Kata-kata terakhirnya bagaimana biasanya kalian buat? Hello. Ya, terima kasih atas perhatiannya. Terima kasih telah membaca letter ini, surat ini, maybe seperti itu ya. Nah, dan ini juga kesannya itu akan kita punya kesan positif dan menghargai orang yang membaca letter kita. Right, sampai di sini ada pertanyaan tentang complaint letter? Complaint letter? No? All good? Okay, I hope all good. Okay, so in complaint letter, we have, in business letter for this unit, complaint letter, we have a grammar focus. Oh, before we go to grammar focus, let's see how the complaint letter are made. The complaint letters are made. For example, tadi yang udah dibilang your address, kira-kira di mana alamat kamu, state-nya atau kode posnya, and then write your email if you sending via email, and then the date, and then the name of contact person, and then the title if available, and then company name, kira-kira itu nama company-nya apa, and then consumer complaint division if you have no specific contact, and then street address, and then the next one, dear blah blah blah, atau organization name, dear Mr. Dear the manager of ABC restaurant, for example, atau bisa juga langsung ke nama company-nya, dear apa ya biasanya, dear academic UT, for example, right? On date, on May 15, 2015, for example, on April 18, 2021, I bought blah blah blah, blah blah blah, something like that one. So we give the specific time. And then the next one, let's see how, and then what you are saying about the product. For example, unfortunately, sayangnya your product has not performed well because something happened. I'm so disappointed because of this one. I was billed the wrong amount. Something was not disclosed clearly or misrepresented. So say the reason and then why you are disappointed for. And then the next one, to resolve the problem, I would appreciate, ini tadi yang mengenai specific refund, what you want to accomplish when you're writing a business letter. And then the next one, I look forward to your reply. So this is about your contact and a resolution to my problem, and will wait until blah 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 before seeking help from a consumer protection agency. Ini let them know what will you do when the address is not when the issue is not addressed, and then sincerely and your name. All right, so let's see the example of a complaint letter. Do we have? Let's check your book. Do you guys get your book yet? Udah pada dapat buku nggak? Okay, so let's see your book page. Do we have the example here? Oh, we don't have here. We don't have here. Okay, let's see your book page 3.15. 3.15. Udah pada buka belum? Did you guys see it? 3.15. Sudah? Okay, can anyone read this message? Read this letter, please. Dari Dear Mr. Johnson aja, gak usah baca yang ininya, alamat dan bla bla blanya. Okay. Sampai wait Mbak, sampai ever had ya. I have ever had. Okay, sure. Mm-hmm. Okay, good job, Mbak. The next one, please. The next one, please. Ade. Oke, Mbak. Wait ya, Mbak Tika Resti dulu. Mhm. 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 It's okay, it's okay. Every treatment. Okay, okay. All right. So let's see here. What is the problem that being exposed or being addressed in this letter? The service of restaurant, from which word, dari yang mana? From which line that you can say sense that this one is like the service? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yes. Yes, right. Jadi dia ini, thank you Mbak Sinta ya. Thank you Mbak. So the first one before the situation or the problem is being addressed, yang seperti yang tadi udah kita bilang, she or he address the time, the date, and then what happened, and then see how they write the letter. I received poor service that I should bring to your attention. Yes, this is a very good samples or example. And then the next one, after 10 to 15 minutes, a waiter who was wearing a name tag that read Donovan told me that I had to wait for another 10 minutes. And then after that, I was the it was the most embarrassing and horrifying experience that I have ever had. Jadi ini juga masalahnya ya. And then what will happen if the situation is not addressed, the issue is not addressed? Apa yang kira-kira terjadi ketika isunya nggak bisa diatasi dalam surat ini? Yes, right? But if I receive this type of treatment again, I will take my business elsewhere. It means he will give the chance one more time, right? Dia bakalan kasih satu kali kesempatan lagi untuk si ini restorannya, karena dia bilang, but if I receive this type again, berarti kalau sekali lagi dia bakalan encounter the same situation, and then he will take the business elsewhere. And then see, he thanks the person reading the letter, right? And then the next one, let's see the activity 2, the next page 3.16. Tadi siapa yang mau baca? Coba yang I am writing until none was sharp. Any other? Should I call your name? Mbak Dia? Okay. Page 316. $600,000. Okay, good job. And next one, yang bisa baca from on following day until weeks until it finished. Okay, Mbak. Yes, okay, thank you. Yes, so what is the problem here? What is the problem that Pauline Seaman writing about? About what? What was it about? Complaining about the product, right? Which is a set of knives. Dia bayarnya 600.000, but then there wasn't any knife like sharp. So he's trying, is it he or she's trying to complain by writing an email, right? And then does she mention what will happen if the issue not addressed yet? Kira-kira ada nggak apa yang dia bilang kira-kira apa yang akan terjadi? Or none.